Hi, I'm George Murray, and it's my delight to be here with you by video for this Biblical Seminary Founders Day. In 1971, two important things happened. That's the year that my wife and I went to the country of Italy for our first term of missionary service. But just before we left, in my parents' home in Abington, Pennsylvania, a group of godly men were meeting to start Biblical Theological Seminary. I mean, think about it. God used a biblical scholar, Alan McRae, and a scriptural evangelist, Jack Murray, to start Biblical Seminary. And they had a faculty of men who were leaving another school and had offers, many of them, to teach in prominent seminaries for good salaries, and instead they stuck together, came to my father and Dr. McRae and said, "Would you help us start a new school?" And that was no property, no student body, no accreditation, no theological library, and no assurance that they were going to get paid. And yet they believed that that's what God wanted them to do. And here we are 47 years later, and look what God has done through Biblical Seminary. I read the Bible through every year, and I was reading this morning in 2 Samuel chapter 5, where we have the story of David conquering the city of Jerusalem. And that story is repeated twice in the Bible, in 2 Samuel 5 and in 1 Chronicles chapter 11. And in the Bible, when something is repeated, it's especially important. And when David came to that city, the Jebusites who lived there said, "You will never get in here." And as I read that this morning, I thought somebody could have said, Biblical Seminary will never get started with that kind of start. But look what the Lord did. And in both of those accounts in the Old Testament of David conquering Jerusalem, it says that the Lord God of hosts was with him. And that is why Biblical Seminary exists today, and why God is using this school in such a wonderful way. My wife is a graduate of Biblical. I did a year of special studies at Biblical, and our studies here prepared us for the work that we had in Italy as church planters. My wife is a licensed biblical counselor, and I have had now administrative leadership roles in several organizations, and I look back and thank the Lord for the training I got at Biblical. And my prayer for Biblical and for President James is that God will greatly use you as you change to Missio Seminary and move into the city of Philadelphia. In the years to come, may God greatly use this school. Thank you so much.